How are you all today? Gee whiz, I've got a huge flock of birds flying over. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's all I can hear for the minute. Hey Tori, Sandy, Gemma. Beautiful. Let a couple of people drop in. Hello, Sibian. Nicole. Hey, Suze, Donna, Karen, Nick. How are you all? Nice. I will jump on a couple of you there at the start. Hey Belinda, gee whiz, Cyril's going up now, so that is nice. Thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. It's nice to have you all here. Same usual side of things, I'd say, guys. No pregnancy, no legal, no health questions on the live feed. The happy code's still there. If you guys would like to book a reading in, use the happy code and you'll get a 20% discount. Other than that, reading with my beautiful Elizacle deck as always, and let's go. All right. Tori, how are you today? Feel free to be specific with your questions, guys. Otherwise, I will just pull what it is that you need to know most right now. If you want to know something about the future, ask what it is. Like if you go, oh, I want to know about the future is like every single day for the rest of your life. So be a little bit more specific. Specific. It's one of those words, that one, isn't it? All right, sorry, Tori, just giving the cards a good little shuffle. Okay. You know what, Tori? I feel like even like as I sit here and I'm shuffling the cards, I feel really light and I feel like I want to have a giggle and I feel like I'm kind of looking at the world half full, and instead of half empty. And when I'm sitting with you, but I feel like just lately, I guess, again, circumstances, everything else like that around, but I just feel like there's been a little bit of worry and concern, I guess, going out to family and just people around you that are close to you, because I do feel like there's more than one, and it's not like a oh my god energy that's there, but there's things that are playing on my mind. But I do want to say to you that when I sit around you and just tune into those around you, I'm not seeing any big bottomers out, okay? So this just feels like energy we've kind of got to work through and push through a little bit, including like the financial side of things as well that's there, because I hear in my head, there will be financial relief. So those that you just, having a little bit of worry and concern for, just know they are just sitting on a temporary ball there, okay? Let me pull you some cards though. So when I sit with your cards, you've got the female card, the growth card, and the moving on card, which are all really nice, beautiful cards. But the female card, what she talks about, absolutely you can represent a partner, but what this talks about as well is that the energy has to come from within. And what I meant by that was the things that we want, the changes that we want to make, those little goals that we're working towards, all of those little bits and pieces, it has to come from within. All of that energy has to come from within. And that's kind of like, well, duh, but it's not so much, because we might be kind of going, I'm going to wait for this and I'm going to wait for this person, or all of that sort of thing that's there. But what it means is you're going to be the driving force that's there, okay? So keep that voice up and keep that energy moving towards what it is that you want. Now you've got the growth card that comes in, which talks about self-awareness and opportunity and potential and all of that nice energy that's there. And that's where I say, when I sit with you, when I first tapped in, it was like your perspective and your attitude towards the world. You really know how to pick yourself back up again. And I'm not saying that you're picking yourself up off the ground right this second, but I'm sure you understand what I mean. And I just feel like now we can use that energy to actually build on something really bigger as well. You've got the moving towards better things. And the energy within this card that's there, I do feel like I'm letting something go. I feel like my heart hurts a little, with that, but it's something that has to happen. And even if it's a behavior or a habit or whatever it is that falls for you that's there, it's as I said, I can feel it in my heart. And so, but it's going to prove to be good. It's time, you feel it, it. You've been procrastinating around it a little bit, but when you actually start kicking in, you're going to see improvements of self and situations. And I can't help but tap into a little bit to do with your own physical side of things as well. And I know that when we click in with ourselves, we feel stronger, but I feel like that little bit of attention that you need to pay is going to pay off. Like, just, nice. You can see I'm excited when I sit in your cards, okay? So that's what I have for you today. It's like I'm sitting on two pathways with you in the regards of, like, I want to sit with myself, but I also want to sit on that other side that's there as well, okay? Take in what I've said today. I hope that it helps, and thank you for joining me. It's absolute pleasure to read for you. So guys, I just got some news as well. I guess it doesn't really affect too many of you at this point in time because of COVID, but I'm going to be temporarily moving for 12 months. More than likely, I'm going to say like 99.5%. and it's just an opportunity basically that's going to work better for the commercial premises that I'm on. So yeah, for 12 months I may actually be moving next door, so stay tuned for details around that. It's a very different space, you know, and I can definitely feel it in my heart when I'm like leaving mine for a little while, but there's also really good space there. So yeah, anyway, stay tuned. Exciting. All right, so let's keep going. Nick. And I'll catch up now in a second to the time. I can see I'm already starting to lag in the time. So yes, all right. Thank you for those that have already left me some thumbs and hearts too. Always appreciated. Gee, I'm enjoying doing the live feeds at the moment. When I sit here, my energy's just, I like it. Alright, I'm going to grab that as well because I want that one. Okay. Nice. Let's see if that's the theme of the day. Alright, so when I pull your cards, Nick, I pulled the Freedom card out, but I actually went to grab the card next to it and I still wanted to, so I pulled it out too. And it was nice because you've got the Confront Fears card and the Freedom card. Sorry, it's a habit to hold them up in front of the camera. I don't expect you to see too much. But it's nice. It's like within that, you know, when we push ourselves out of our comfort zone and we just push that little bit harder, with that comes that beautiful freedom. It's like, oh, I'm so glad that I did that. I'm really proud of myself. I achieved it. I did it. Wow. You know, if you've been thinking about undertaking a little bit of study or learning something new around that, I feel really excited in that. And so I want to say, like, I really want to encourage you to do that. Even, don't care if it's personal or business or career, I don't care what it is. I can feel learning that comes in and around it, and I can feel a really nice sense of pride with it as well. And I want to say there's definitely a skill set that's attached to it as well, because it's like whatever I've grabbed just there, I'm also then using and building on again later. So yeah, be adventurous with it. Be adventurous with it. I want to smile with it. You've got the be positive, so your attitude is a choice. And what this card just wants to talk about is that, you know, even on the days that it rains and things are a little bit heavier, you know, situations around, we still have a choice of how our perspective and our attitude that we put out there, you know, we still find a reason to see the glass half full. You know, so there's a big, nice, beautiful sunny face on there, and that's what it is. You know, your attitude is a choice, and it's just reminding you just to keep your chin up, you know, as you push through little challenges and little things around you right now, because it's all good, basically. You've got the growth card as well, and that's what I was like, oh, let's see if there's a theme. Self-awareness, opportunity, and potential. The Tree of Life means a lot to me. I really resonate with it. It's where I go and sit when I establish my grounding field. That was the very first thing that was there. I've, you know, got a big tattoo on my back, blah, blah, blah. I resonate a lot with the Tree of Life, simply just because of that's what is that growth, you know, that growth. And it's always, I guess, a spiritual connotation to it, not on the religious side, obviously, but yeah, you get what I mean. Listen to me jibber jabber on and on. You know why? Because there's a lot of energy that's here about personal connection and like just tapping in. I think you're going to find that already you're starting to see that your perception's a little bit more on tap, and that your intuition and your dreams are a little bit more vivid as well. It's nice. There's just I just want to be excited. You can see my voice is just chattering away. So when I say to you that over the next 6 months there's really nice opportunities in you to do that, and I know that that's like a really like cliche psychic can say, over the next 6 months you're going to see happiness. Woohoo! Take it, but because within that, like, it's stuff that you've done, you know, it's stuff that you've done, and it's just like 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 steps. So it's nice. There's a lot of clearing out of energy, but there's also a lot of, I want to say, coming home to self, all right, within that. So just enjoy the journey. But as I said, those little things that you wanted to jump on and learn, definitely jump on it. It's like a building block. I keep wanting to do steps around you, okay? So I hope that helps, and thank you very much for joining me. Oh, just feel like I said 1,000 words in a minute then. All right. Sandy. And sorry, I wanted to jump on Sandy before, and then I'll catch up with the comments. Sandy. When I sit in your energy, I want to take a breath. But it's interesting. You can see my little mind's ticking away. It's like they're clearly going, because at first, like, if I sit in that energy and I go, okay, maybe we need to kind of, you know, just calm down a little bit in our to-do list type of thing. But then, yeah, my guides are very clearly coming in and going, no, her expectations aren't out of whack. Her experiences have just been challenging. That's where I feel like I'm sitting with you. For some reason, I just feel like I want to take a breath. I feel like there's a current energy around, and it's not necessarily... I want to say it's an older energy that's there. So we're either sitting on a longer term relationship, or there's that stagnant of energy that's still sitting there. But for whatever wanton reason, I feel a need right in this moment, just at this time, just to kind of breathe and to take what I need around with it. I feel like I've always compromised, and I've always, been the one that's made the compromise. Do you want steak and chips for dinner, or do you want fucking fried eggs or whatever, and you want steak and eggs, and it's fried eggs that you're having, not, the steak and eggs. I use a bad example, and I used eggs in both, I just realised. You see what I'm saying with that, okay? And I just feel like you kind of had enough, and that you're tired in that regard, and so it's taken down some of the energy about, what love is, and, what I can have, and what I want, and, all that sort of stuff. It's like, you and I probably have a good old conversation about it, you know what I mean? It's all that's there. So that's, for me, again, I want to just breathe. And I want to just sit in this moment, and I want to just go, you know what? I'm going to take what I need, and I'm going to take what I want. And that's not a selfish way that I say that. It's about boundaries and genuine needs. And I'm going to move forward with that. And what you're going to see is everything else fall into sync around it, okay? It's... even if it's just improvements on current, or it's coming in, okay, I don't want to change the energy, because I feel the improvement regardless that sits there. And it's almost like I get to take a breath, and I get seen, I get recognised. Allow yourself to be seen, allow yourself to be recognised as well. I feel, again, that you've always kind of done for others, and so it feels a little bit awkward to have them do for you, Take cooking, for example. If you've always been the one that cooks, it feels kind of weird to sit there and have someone else cook for you. I know that I experienced that as well, but... So you get what I'm kind of saying in and around all of that. It's just, that's what it is. And it's just like that decision that's made. I feel like you've got the knowledge that's there. You've done the work. You know what I mean? Everything's there. I just need to breathe and go, yep, no, this is the way it's going to be. And I'm not accepting any less. Let me pull you some cards, but I'm just going to giggle because the card that just jumped out of the deck, I'll show you in a second. Can you guess what it was? Yes, the growth card. And that's nice. Like, as I was just saying on last night's live feed, birds of a feather flock together. Where energy goes, energy flows. There's a reason why we all sort of joined in at the same time today. And very much so I've been seeing through the live feeds the messages resonating for other people as well. So I love that there's that theme, and that's a beautiful theme to have. Personal growth. Nice. Yep. So when I pull cards for you, you've got the spirit card. Okay, and this is a card that was put in the deck because Spirit wanted a sign. They wanted validation that they were around you, that, those things that you're picking up on are very much so, that support and love that you've got from Spirit. There's a really strong mother energy that comes in and around you as well, and it may attach to a grandmother, but there's a really strong mother energy that comes in and around you when I talk about that. Now, you've got the joy card that sits there with that, which is peace and happiness. I'm trying to say happiness. Trying to say happiness and harmony at the same time. Happy. I was trying to remember it then. For me, this card talks about a really nice balance. It's a nice balance, and just bringing in the self-care. As I just said, standing in your truth and your honour and your awareness. And I just feel like putting all of those things into place is exactly what is out of balance. It's just exactly what's out of balance. I don't think, a lot of us sometimes realise how awesome and how special we really are. And again, don't want to be cliche with that, but yeah. Take on board what I've said, okay? And for that's where I sit, because it's like once I'm sitting and moving forward, everything's okay, everything shifts, everything changes, and I don't want to just go, yep, everything's shifted and changed, but it shifts and it changes, and if we stick with that, that's the way it's going to stay. All right? It's nice. It's your turn, okay? So allow it to be your turn a little bit more. I hope that helps. All right, let's catch up. Linda Lovegrove. Yes, you may. Gee, the weather's beautiful. I went outside to my veggie garden earlier, and I come inside and I was doing a phone reading, and I looked down on my leg, and I had a caterpillar that was there, so he's gone into the caterpillar hotel. I don't use chemicals or pesticides on my veggie garden, so they get a few caterpillars, and so I've started a hotel for them, and they go in there, they cocoon, and yeah, it's cute. Kids like it. Anyway, Linda, let me focus over on you. Sorry, I just want to give the cards a shuffle. All right. Linda. So, boom, boom, boom. Okay, nice. When I pull your cards for you, Linda, I was even drawn just to like go, yep, this is the cards that I want, and I just kind of grabbed them. I didn't want to scatter over. So when I sit with you, you've got the dead end card, which talks about this way does not work, and it is just that, you know, and it's not about everything not working. It's that particular thing that's there that we're trying to get into to work. It's not going to, and we kind of know that. Letting go, releasing the binds, and keeping yourself grounded. I just want to follow your story a second. It's 10 plus 10. If I had $1 for every time my son asked me what 10 plus 10 was, I reckon I'd have 20 times 20. All right, Linda, when I sit with your cards, as I said, I just wanted to follow your story a little bit, because keeping the grounding and all that energy that's there, there's a completion that's coming in and around, and that makes sense with the dead end that sits there, because as I was continuing pulling your cards for you as well, emotionally I'm quite connected in that, and I just feel like it is literally something I'm needing to let go of and walk away from. There's definitely a person attached to this, but I don't necessarily want to jump onto a relationship. Okay, I feel like it's more this person is just attached to this, you know. And so as we do talk about letting go, moving forward, releasing those binds and around us, you've got the catch the rainbow card. Your goals are not impossible, and that's what that reminder is. It's like it's okay to deal with the things that we need to right now, because moving forward you're going to get what it is that you need. You've got the spirit card, which talks, you know, as you would have just heard me said, that card very specifically is in the deck just as a beautiful sign of support. Be mindful where you set your intentions, okay? Intentions, where do yours lay? As you've heard me talk before, where energy goes, energy flows. And so what is, if we focus too much on what can go wrong and what's out of whack, and, you know, if I do this, what happens if this happens? And if I, you know, let go of this to jump onto this, what happens if that doesn't happen? And when we focus all of our energy and our intention that way, that's generally what happens. And so allow yourself to focus on the positives, see the successes, see, you know, allow yourself to be excited. There's frustration that comes in, but you know what? There's frustration with anything that comes in with having to do this kind of work. You've got the completions card, which talks about as one door shuts, another one opens, okay? And it's much like the tower energy in the tarot. It's usually quick and it's usually swift. It's almost like, you know what, if you don't take care of this yourself, the universe is going to. All right, but within that, you get the freedom and you get the changes that come. Obviously, a little bit of worry and doubt that attaches to that, but nothing changes if nothing changes. You know, it's time to kind of take that little bit of a gamble that's there. And I feel like this is, again, like I'm not just sitting on just that one specific thing. It's like I'm sitting with that, but it's attached to that. And I'm sure for you, you know, that should make sense. So what it is that you need to know most, like be positive, your attitude is a choice. So much like I was talking about before, it's just like, even in turbulence, you know, we can still choose to keep our head up. We can still choose to go, yep, no, I'm gonna get through this. I'm not gonna let this, you know, defy me. You've got both of the take 5 cards together, the take 5 and take a moment. And what that is talking about very much so is just, you know, taking that time to breathe, taking that time to recuperate, taking that time to be with yourself. You know, if we drive ourselves down into the ground, it's usually when all those niggly little bits and pieces start coming up. But it is time to look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture beyond long-term beyond self and moments. And what I meant by that was, you know, don't make decisions that are easier for today because they're not going to serve you tomorrow. Okay, if you make choices that are easier to right now, you know, and you're just going to have to make that same decision again later. So it's time to clear out the stables, I guess, for want of a better word. You know, I literally see that big broom, and it's time just to clear it out and just to sit with those things that you need and those things that you need to shift. It is time, and as I said, I feel like if you don't pay attention to it, the universe is going to give you no choice, okay? So I hope all of that helps. Thank you very much. I know sometimes, I always try to be positive and uplifting in the readings, but sometimes we just need to know as well. I'm just going to acknowledge these two little energies. What's up, dudes?
When I said, can I have 5 Robux in one day? And you said yes. And
set me up for Roblox. There's everyone else's kids on this Roblox thing. But what are you, Jason? Robux as well. Look, if you guys can give me 20 minutes and be good for 20 minutes, I'll buy some Robux afterwards.
Will you get us £5 in?
Yeah.
So I can get a land on bar.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you, you're the best. I'll pay for Robux.
We all saw what just happened there, didn't we? I'm not going to deny it. Your turn. Yeah, no, I knew a second that it seemed Billy hitting money up. I knew that my turn was next. So yeah, they're taking advantage. Good on you. All right, let's keep going. You all saw what happened there. I'm not going to. Mum's a bit of a sucker. Miller. Hi Elizabeth, would love a reading. I keep dreaming from someone from the past, Daniel. Does it mean that he is coming back? Thanks. I wanted to jump onto your question that's there because generally there's a couple of things that it can interpret, but for the most part, what happens when that energy comes back around is it's giving you a letting go energy that's there, you know. So very much so, the person can come up into your mind because there's something going on for them, and because there's still that little bit of an energy tie there, you'll pick up on it intuitively. It's generally quite big what's going on for that kind of occurrence to happen, but you can see, like, I don't really want to go there right this second. I'm not feeling a need to. I just feel like I want to explain all the facets. I feel like for you, this is actually bringing up old energy because it's giving you an opportunity to release. There's something, and I know we all have something, but you understand when I say there's something that sits right here for you when you still look back on that, okay? And it's, you know, it's time to move forward from that. And so that's where I feel like this dream is coming around. And I feel like if you pay attention to the dreams, which you are, you'll see that there's a peacefulness in these dreams. There's a I don't want to say connection, but a peacefulness that's there, a release, you know, and that's what it is. Take the energy of what that dream is, and that's what the energy is of trying to come back in. Obviously, you know, dreams as well, just on the side of things that's there. I don't feel like you have, but, you know, if you've been sitting here talking about Daniel, you know, for the week prior, and all of a sudden he's up in your dreams, very much so, that can be a connection that's there as well. So it's always important to get rid of the logistical stuff when you're doing dream interpretation, which you can see I kind of feel a need to do. But when I just sit with the essence of it on a psychic capacity, that's where I want to go to, okay? So I'll pull you some cards around it, but that's what I feel, that it's time to actually release that little part. I feel like you've learnt something that has given you an opportunity now to have perspective on that and to look at it more holistically and just to, you know, have it become a part as opposed to a piece. All right, so when I sit with your cards, you've got Stand Strong going, yeah, you got this, and Transformation, blossoming into true self. And that's where I say, for me, this feels like a release, and the Freedom card, and I'm pretty sure the Freedom card has release. Yeah, see? Okay, so that's where I'm sitting around for you with that dream that's there, and yeah, the cards want to validate that, and the cards are my own psychic energy, so that kind of makes sense. So I hope that helps. It's a good thing. It's a good thing, okay? It is a good thing. It really is. Might feel a little bit heartfelt or melancholy at the time, but trust me, it's a good thing. Your subconscious is, bringing you freedom and release. So I hope that helps. Oh, hello, Michaela. I would love a card. Beautiful. I'll just read from Michaela and then I will catch up to the comments. How long have we been? 24 minutes. Beautiful. I'm here tomorrow night again, guys, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. If you'd like to book a reading in, if you use the discount code HAPPY, you'll get a 20% discount. You may find that there's no spots left this week. Let me know if you get stuck in your bus and a gut. Otherwise, yeah, there's plenty of spots next week, I'm sure. Possibly. We'll find out. You always message me when you can't find a spot. Always keep a couple hidden up my sleeve, so it's all good. All right, Michaela. So again, just use the opportunity to shuffle the cards. So let me pull some for you. Michaela, I feel like you're contemplating. Yeah, nice. Something's ringing that shouldn't be ringing. I feel like you're contemplating actually taking on a new. I want to learn. I'm wondering though, if you've been doing heaps of makeup and bits and pieces lately, I'm quite drawn to doing something with beauty around you, and it does feel like I've been learning a lot. I happen to know that you're quite skilled at your makeup though, so I kind of just want to clarify in my own head around that. But I do want to say to you, there's a nice success that sits there with it. It's whatever you're doing something with it. It's not just, oh yeah, I'm putting my makeup on, okay? I know you get that. Oh yeah, I can't let it go. It's like this big energy that sits there. Makeup industry. That's nice. You've got a little bit of business energy coming in and around you with that, Michaela. Keep ticking with what you're doing. Keep ticking with what you're doing in that regard. And if that energy hasn't come in yet, okay, and you're sitting here trying to go, oh, I don't know what it is I want to do, stop and have a look and just see, okay? Because I'm not one to sit and actually go, yep, this is what you should be doing for career-wise. Anyone that's had a reading with me will know that. I don't muck around with free will. But I do want to say with you, just have a look and see, because there's definitely an energy attached to it. I keep, so if I sit with the story and I'm listening to, my little people in my head. Anyway, we won't go there. If I listen to the story that's going on in my head, okay, they're talking about the fact that there's also a business side of things attached. Like, I want to work for myself. I don't want the conformity that's there. But as I said, there's that learning that's sitting there. So I just want to chuck that at you. I don't want to give it to you. I want to literally chuck it at you and go, hey, have a look at this. Check this out. How does that make you feel? All right, so I'll leave that part there with you. So when I sit with your cards, you've got the Catch the Rainbow. Your goals are not impossible. You need to be mindful, Michaela, at the moment of your self-discipline, basically, that's there. Like, if things are feeling a little bit frustrating, a little bit out of whack, and, a little bit even emotional at times and things like that, don't let that turn into destructive behaviour. And by destructive behaviour, what I mean is, like for me, it might mean that I'll choose to sort of procrastinate the day away and let my to-do list of work just kind of sit. I want to keep that in context, when we talk about destructive, because that can be a big word. But I just feel like the things that we neglect around us only hurt ourselves. So just, check in with yourself on that. The Cycles card, beginnings and endings are in natural order. And as I said, there is a little bit of an emotional energy in this. I'm wondering if there's a friendship that's just actually stepped away from you, okay? If it hasn't stepped away from you, I feel that you know that it's about to, all right? This has been a long time coming, and it is what it is, I don't feel like I need to be bigger than that. It's just in life, sometimes that happens, the cycles, reasons and seasons. You've got the healing card that sits there, okay? And this talks about being patient, but allowing the healing to come in, holding that ferocious energy towards, no, I'm not forgiving you. How dare you do this? I'm just going to stay angry at you because that's what you deserve. Most of the time that other person told us often doesn't give a rat's, and it's us that gets left with that, where can we carry that? Well, that feeling's ours. It's only damaging us, and so I just want to say to you, that sometimes forgiveness isn't about saying what that other person did was okay. It's just about saying, you know what, I'm bigger and this, and I'm going to take that experience and I'm going to learn from it and I'm going to grow from it. I'm not going to carry it like a big ass heavy sack behind me. There's a lot of energy in that, Michaela, but I feel like you and yourself are just feeling a little bit frustrated, and I don't like being cliche around ages and going, oh, you're growing up or whatever else, but I do literally feel like even just mentally and who you are, you're kind of going just from this point up until this point, and with that, it's always a little bit sticky in between. So it makes sense there's a bit of frustration. Keep yourself grounded in the middle of it all right? Michaela, I hope all of that helps. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you haven't, leave me a thumbs up or a heart, always appreciated. Okay, let me catch up with the comments. Alright, so I'm here to do a couple more readings today, guys, and then I am back at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, and here for longer on the Friday nights than I am on the Thursday days too, so that's cool. And Wednesdays, guys, just in case you're unaware and you're here, Wednesdays I'm also doing a live feed at 7:30 p.m, but that is just for the people who like my page. It's not discrimination against anyone that doesn't like my page. On here I'll read for whoever I'm drawn to, but I would like an opportunity to say thank you, because I do absolutely appreciate the support that a like on my page brings, and so yeah, it's just a way to say thank you. So if you haven't cottoned on to the fact that there's 3 live feeds now through the week, now you know. Okay, let me jump up here. Hi. Angela Willis. I'm not sure if I've read for you before either. Thank you very much for being here today. Let's have a look. got an interesting energy. When I sit with your cards and when I sit in your energy, what do I want to say? I want to say that it's like when I jump into the cards straight away, right? What I get up straight away, and I'll just let the story unfold as I talk, I guess. When I sit with your cards, it's like you've got the Take 5 card, the bigger picture card, which talks about, looking beyond long term and self and moments, making choices that are stronger for tomorrow as opposed to today. And then you've got the prosperity card, which talks about financial growth, security, abundance, and all of that side of things that's there. And I literally do want to grab it onto something that is a financial venture, but it isn't feeling like it's connected to work. So it may be like, selling of property or, selling of a business or something that's not involving me going, back and forth like a 9 to 5 thing. It doesn't have that energy attached to it, but there's other people around with it. And I feel like this is already something that's kind of moving around you. But then you've got the wolf in the sheep's clothing, okay? And what this card very much talks about is just that, we all know what a wolf in sheep's clothing is. And so be aware, if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's a duck. And just to there's deception, betrayal are all really big words, okay? So I want to make it little when I say them. And I don't want to be cheeky or silly when I say that, even though I sounded silly just then, but I want to be little with them, because I just feel like I just need to be aware that, not everyone's a straight shooter around you is what they should be, and that's all I need to say in that. Like, I'm not hiding or going, or anything else like that around it. It's just like people going, I'll be there at 10 when they're always there at 9:30, and they're telling you they're at 10, and for some reason they need to shift that around to their own benefit. It's that kind of level. So I just want to be really clear around that, because I just feel like that energy needs to be cleared up. There's delays, and that's where those delays are pickpocketing from, okay? Now, you've got the healing card, which talks about, again, as it sits there, being patient, but just allowing healing to come in. And I feel like this is just with yourself. I feel like you are a very hard taskmaster on yourself. So have a little bit of patience. You're not patient enough with yourself either, I feel. And just, go easy on yourself. Your energy's strong. Pardon me. Now, you've got the heartache card and you've got the love card. Now, you've got the love card, that's this one. I just want to point that out. Because what this talks about is coming to a point in ourselves where we have enough awareness around us, where we sit in our truths and our happiness and our desires. We've done the work for that. Nice. Okay, so I kind of want to just pull that away and swing it off to the side, that last lot of cards. So I want to keep what I've said there. Okay, around the financial side of things and everything else, just be a little bit more patient with yourself. And as I said, don't be so hard on yourself either. It's almost like you're expecting yourself to do 15 hours of work in 10 hours, okay? So just, take it on board and do with it as you will. Now, as I kind of want to move on with the cards, because you can see I pulled more than 3 cards, I do actually want to jump in, like the heartache and the love card and the answers coming within. They're like, let's just shift that away. It's got nothing to do with that. This is talking about once all this dust is settled, the relationships around you, okay, it's like there's some work that needs to be done there as well. And it's not, again, because everything's on the ground or anything else like that, but it's like my mind and our energy has been so distracted over here that now it's time to take some energy back for ourselves. And, there's... You've got the answers are blown in the wind card, and what this talks about is that sometimes we need to step forward without having all of the answers. We're not always going to have everything that we need to step forward, but that we still need to. It's part of the journey is the lessons, if that makes sense, okay? You're not meant to know everything before you move on. Which is nice as well. So if I complete the pull for you, which I may as well because I've pulled you 9 out of 12, so you've got moving on towards better things, and that's where I say there's a nice shift that's here. It's like, we're taking care of business, clear out the nuts and the bolts that are here, and then we get to actually come back to us. Now, you've got the female card, which talks about the fact that this energy has to come from within, okay? What it talks about, especially with what we spoke about in the first reference of your reading, is that it's going to be your balls, your energy, that actually clears this out. If we keep waiting on other people, and I'm not suggesting anybody needs you to sit back and wait for other people, that's not what I'm implying, but if there's other people's, words, there, we're going to have to go and, goy, come on. All right, and then you've got the growth card, which comes in, which I'm not surprised and has definitely been a theme of the day, but self-awareness, opportunity and potential, and it's nice. When you get both of my trees of life in one deck, for me that's like, excuse the analogy, and I'm not promoting gambling by any yards of the stick, But my grandmother loved the, the 3 pyramid pokies that you play. You get 3 pyramids and you get 15 free games. She loved them and she played 9 cent. Anyway, she'd, that's what that reminds me of. I love my grandma. She's in heaven now, but I still love her. And beyond my grandmother, sorry, I love her a lot. Those 2 trees is like that. It's like my grandma getting excited next to me at the pokies because she's just won the free wins, and it's a nice energy. You can see the big smile on my face. So what you need to know most for yourself, okay, I've come this far, so I'm going to finish deck. Letting go, releasing the binds that are holding you around, okay, and then that's where I say, if dealing with what's going on here now is actually going to allow you time to come back to home and deal with that on this side as well. Internal conflict just talks about being caught in our own thoughts a little bit, so hopefully that's helped to clear that. Worry and doubt, just taking one step at a time. It's like, I always say like a pie. If you've got this massive to-do list, someone says to you, hey, eat this whole big pie, and, boom, you're going to be good to go, and you're like, if I eat that whole pie, I'm going to vomit. And so cut it up, have a slice for breakfast, slice for lunch, slice for dinner. By the end of the day, the whole pie is eaten, boom, Bob's your uncle. Okay, so, that's how I kind of, very basically, wanted to always sit around problems in that regard, okay? That's what I always see the pie. So anyway, then you got the take a moment card, which gratitude and rest are needed. And gratitude, it's not about going, you need to be more grateful at all. It's about gratitude. It's about looking up at the sky. For where I sit when I work from home, I can see the citrus trees over somebody else's backyard. And then I can look and I go, wow, the orange looks nice against the green. So much to the point where I actually went and planted mandarin trees this week. So, it has an impact, and I'm gratitude. That's the kind of level that I'm talking about. It makes the world shine a little bit brighter and makes everything just that little bit easier to deal with. So I hope all of that helps. There's a lot of information and energy there. Definitely appreciate you joining me on the live feed today, and thank you very much. All right, guys, I'm going to do one more reading, and then I will see you all tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock. It's a beautiful afternoon, so I'm going to get my kitties out into the sunshine for a while because I've been reading all morning. All right, let's have a look. Sharon. So guys, as you're checking out, before I do this last reading, if you haven't already, please like my Facebook page. You'll see I am here at the moment live 3 times a week, and there is a bunch of workshops that are being released over the next couple of days. I know I've been saying that for a couple of weeks, but I've actually literally done them now. COVID's made me have to change a few things. There's also for those of you that were interested around the grounding and the meditation and such like that, there will be one released on Saturday. Okay, so just a little bit of FYI. And for those of you that didn't catch, 99.9% chance that I'm moving next door for 12 months at work, not home, obviously. All right, let's go. Sharon. Reading. There's a few little shifts and change. I feel like there's been someone that's sitting up on this level come out and somebody else come in. They may just be on holidays for a while and someone else has taken over, but it wouldn't just be like a couple of days, okay? You understand that shift that's sitting there? I want to say to you, this too shall pass, okay? That's what I get into my head. So I feel like I just want to kind of sit on it before I make any big decisions. This too shall pass, but it's not going to look the same on the other side. But I want to sit on it for a minute. I want to sit on it. There's more information to come in around. I don't feel like you've got everything you need right now as far as information goes. When I sit with your cards, you've got the answers blowing in the wind. Lessons within. There's more information to come in, okay? There's more information to come in. You've got the shit happens card, which is just that. I'm sure you've heard me talk about that card enough times to know that in life it's not because we're doing anything wrong or everything's out or not fair or anything. Everything's spot on with the makeup and beauty. Sweet, thank you. It's just that in life shit happens, and at the moment there's a hell of a lot of that going on and around. So something's telling me just to tell you just to wait a second, just wait a second. And it doesn't mean that there doesn't need to be changes that are coming in, but today, this week, is not the time to do them. Changes. Be open to embracing the changes. Yeah, I get that. if you're being mucked around with work, like as far as your hours and all that kind of stuff as a consequence on this, or there's some kind of like question mark over that, that's where I want to say, don't just go running out of the gate. There's more information that's going to come in on that. And I feel like there's an up. So like, and I'm just using examples, okay? If, for example, you've gone from like a 40-hour week and they're like, you know, we only need you 10 hours, okay, something's going to shift around that and they're going to come back and go, no, actually, we do need you 25 hours, okay? So as I said, it doesn't look the same onto the other side. I'm not necessarily saying it is about hours, but to give context of the energy that I'm picking up, because somebody keeps telling me to wait, and I keep seeing people coming in and their support being there for you, okay? It's as far as like if it feels like you're just sort of being kicked to the curb at the moment, I want to suggest that, yeah, hey, you know, maybe it's one person or two persons' energy is making you feel that way, but that it's not the case, okay? It's not the case. I care about you. I care about you in when I'm sitting with this. But there is a shift that is coming in. Just sit tight for a second. So you've got the Take a Moment card, the Joy card, the Transformation card. To keep connected with yourself. And the New Beginnings card, thinking about the long term, pay attention. Yep, Spirit card, that makes sense. It's time. This way's not working. Yeah. There's a shift that's sitting there around, but as I said, just sit and wait. You do not have all the information that you need right now, and I'm not saying then, like, you know, I don't want you to then go, okay, well, when do I have to, you know, where's that information? Basically, it'll come in. It's coming in. It's you don't do anything other than what you're doing now. It's coming in. You will get what you need, and you will have clarity moving forward. Okay, there is a shift, but I feel there's a lot of support in that. It's almost like, if for example, you're changing from here and you have to go and change into workplaces, what I see beneath that, in between that, is a big suspension bridge. One links to the other. Okay, there's no abandonment in between it, and by abandonment I mean from them to you. Okay, so you know, I'm going to trust that makes sense for you, Sharon, and just say to you, sit tight for a second. There's more information to come in, okay? But you're not going to be left blowing in the wind. You're not going to be left blowing in the wind, okay? Of that, I'm certain. Even if these are things that you were just completely instigating yourself, I still want to say exactly the same thing, okay? Just sit tight. Just like a couple of weeks. Just sit tight. There's more information coming in. You're about to learn something, okay? And it's I'm relieved. It doesn't make things worse. It's a relief. It's a good feeling. That sits there. All right. So yeah, just sit tight for a couple of weeks. Sit tight. All right. I hope that helps, Sharon. Thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you all for joining me today. It's absolutely appreciated. I just enjoy being here with you guys. I'm starting to miss I guess the connections that are there. I'm not a big social person, and I have, you know, who I love, and that's all cool. But you guys are like, yeah. Anyway, shut up, Liz. Sorry. I'm all in sentimental mode every time I get on a live feed the last couple of days for some reason. It's all good. I just want to express how much I do appreciate you guys being here, and I do, appreciate your support. So thank you very much. I look forward to being here tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Sydney Eastern Standard Time. I'm looking forward to being able to say Eastern Standard Daylight Savings Time. Not too long to go. Other than that, take care of yourselves, peeps, and if you would like to book a reading, again, use the code HAPPY and you'll get a 20% discount. Until then, much love, and I'll see you tomorrow.